welcome to a very special Five Heart podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Greg Mehachko. Joining me, as always, my co-host and friend, Minnie Hunt. Hello, Minnie. How are you doing tonight?
I am so good because Colorado does not look scary to me this year. Have you watched any of the game?
Just before the end of the first half. Like, I saw them kick the field goal. I saw the couple of nice play extending maneuvers by Shedeur Sanders. I'll give him credit there. I saw the field goal as time expired. But then we see that North Dakota State just intercepted Colorado in the end zone. Hey, here's the thing. I'll take the updates as they come along. But at the end of the day, I want to remind folks that this is a Nebraska podcast. And so we can wallow in their misery, laugh, have a little bit of schadenfreude. But
they deserve it.
They
deserve it.
We've got things to talk about ourselves, Minnie.
I know. We do.
And I want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Husker fans of all ages, you know what I'm going to be partaking of tonight. By the way, my last two right now, tonight. And then I'm going to get more. And then I have the Yingling I'm taking to Lincoln next weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
But I'm not the only one partaking tonight, Minnie.
Guys, it's party time. Game week.
This is what we can expect. In-season Minnie's a bit of a drunkard.
Yeah, I don't usually drink out of can, but hey.
No, only out of box wine.
No.
Only the very finest pinkies out for Miss Minnie.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to kicking Colorado's butt. But before we do that, there's a lot more we need to talk about.
And before we do that, we're going to get it out of the way early. The wall behind me
what's this?
Is complete.
Wait. Oh my gosh, Greg. Tell me more. Give me some insight onto these cute little doggy pictures.
So obviously, you know the Nebraska block letter N.
Mm-hmm.
It's well known that I'm a nerd. So this is a custom painting here that my friend Ross did for me of the Green Lantern, who went crazy in canon and killed Green Lanterns and collected their rings for more power. Anyway, what you see, I always forget. So this is Lucky. And for context, Lucky passed back in 2019. So that's the painting that we had there for Lucky. And then, again, this is Coco, who
she's so beautiful.
We know we just lost here this summer, and I just picked that up from the painter yesterday, artist. So I think he did it.
It's really good.
Fact, he did a tremendous job on both of them. I have a few other of his prints that are he does. Obviously, these were for me, but if you ever sought out his Facebook page or on Instagram or whatever, it's Art Monkey World. But he kind of specializes in like pet portraits, but if they're like dressed up in period,
that would be good.
Like, one, like if you had a French bulldog who's dressed in like a Napoleon types of garb, things like that. So, so
Greg,
David Carr is
you have just impressed me so much.
Do you know how
realized
what?
I never realized what an animal lover you are. You now are one of my favorite people.
I don't know about animal
lovers.
I love my
dog. The best people.
Well,
obviously.
So anyway, just wanted to share that because we kind of talked about. I didn't realize that the Chatterfields didn't know about Coco until last week. So, yeah, we can kind of close that book. And
when is Benjamin going to get his portrait?
when Benjamin dies.
Really? You have to die in order to get a portrait.
That's how it is. It's that there are that's our memorial to them. In fact,
how long do bearded dragons live?
8 to 10 years.
Oh gosh, so it's going to be a while.
Yeah. Garrett, my oldest, who Benjamin technically, I guess, belongs to, when I showed him the picture of Coco yesterday, he says, when he was pretty understanding, but he's like, so when Benjamin dies, can we get a painting portrait of Benjamin? I said, you can pay for it. I said,
oh.
It's I was like, by that time, this kid's got money. Like, I need to take he's got an R2D2 bank in his room that I need to take to the bank and like clear out. Like he needs to start making a little bit of interest on that. So
you just need to keep receipts. That's what I tell my kids.
I'm keeping my business receipts now, man.
Start adding interest to what they owe you.
Fact. So everybody's great in the comments. I appreciate all the love. Dogs are great. Cats suck. Unless you're a cat person, I guess. But anyway, I'm excited to get into this game week episode. We're going to have a very special guest on later in the show.
Yes.
Assuming he's awake.
Oh wait. Shit. What the heck just happened?
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to brush my hair.
Oh.
I legit just said we were going to have a very special guest on later, assuming he's still awake. And ladies and gentlemen, Coordination fans, the man who has entered the conversation needs no introduction, but I'm never going to miss an opportunity to make it blush just a little bit. Joining us for the first time in a long time. You know him, you love him. He is our founder, our fearless leader. He is 210 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal.
Travis Hunter with a 13-yard TD reception to go ahead of North Dakota State.
And he's not going to pay attention at all to our show.
I am going to pay attention. Just, I'm multitasking.
It was 2017 last time I saw. What's the score?
Well, it's now more than that for Colorado.
24?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what these two teams are doing. Literally, if I was Colorado, I would run 4 verts on every play against North Dakota State. I don't even know why they're bothering with anything else. Wait, you said you were going to keep this to like an hour, didn't you?
We're going to try.
We're already almost 9 minutes in, and we haven't even started the show.
You haven't even started on the topics, have you, Greg?
I haven't even looked at the topics yet. But we did get to talk about my dogs. So, John, you saw the painting.
What?
Right. You saw the painting of Coco that I put on other social media, right?
Okay, yes.
And then there's Lucky.
No, I didn't.
Lucky.
So
listen. Last night I worked on a failed mail server upgrade till 10 p.m. Tonight it was till 7 p.m. From 6 a.m. both days. It's been kind of a tough, last few days. It's a lot of workload. I thought my workload was going to go down. It's gone way up in the last few days. That's my excuse. So I haven't looked at a lot of social media. Now it's time to play football. Minnesota is tied with North Carolina 7-7. I can hear my son screaming in the other room. Okay, we better get going on the topics.
Well, I think that as exciting as the addition that you are to this show, John, and the joy that you bring, not just to me and Minnie, but to the Chatterfields around the world, not the only addition that we need to talk about this past week in Nebraska athletics. And, of course, I'm talking about the addition of transfer tight end Mac Markway from LSU.
Yeah.
Yes. He just showed up.
Yeah, I don't. That's really weird. I mean,
that's the weirdest thing.
It is just hi. I know you have a bunch of tight ends that are experienced with your program, but I want to come up there anyway right now.
I love this. We are getting people just showing up to campus and just saying, hey, can I practice with you guys? I'll walk on this season.
Look at the guns on that guy.
I know.
I used to look like that when I was 20.
Yeah. Probably with longer hair, though.
It was punk rocky hair. You're right. It was.
Oh my gosh.
No, so he was originally a 4-star tight end out of high school from DeSmet there in St. Louis. 6'4", 258, played in 12 games with 1 start as a freshman, had 3 catches, 16 yards, and a 3-yard touchdown in his time there in Louisiana, and just showed up as miraculously. I think this is part that's crazy. He's showed up a week before the first game, is on the roster for the 2024 season, and has worked him way into a tight end room that already has Thomas Fidone, Nate Borkercher, and Lindenmeyer. And not to mention that you also have Carter Nelson, who by all rights should be a tight end, but he's got to put on some of that tight end size. So he's lining up as a wide receiver. So when it rains, it pours, I guess. Like what a between this and the quarterback kid, who I already forgot his name. It's fine. It'll come back. According to Minnie, he's never going to see the field anyway because it's going to be all Dylan all the time. But like just random kids just showing up in Lincoln saying, "I want to play," and it works.
Here's the thing. His dad played for Iowa. He has an uncle that's in the NFL. This kid is surrounded by football talent, and he chose to just walk on at Nebraska from LSU.
Well, you know what's weird about that is he could have gone to Iowa. I mean, look at the tight ends that Iowa's put in the NFL in the last few years. Noah Fant, T.J. Hawkinson. There's a third. Who is it? Come on.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but so he did
Travis Kelce? I'm sorry, not Travis Kelce. The one for San Francisco. Gosh dang it. George Kittle.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't Kelce as soon as I said it. I apologize to everybody.
I don't know. That's saying something about your offense versus, one of your rivals' offenses.
Wow.
I can't get over this. Just showing up on campus and being like, I want to play football. And part of me, Minnie, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Miracle. John, I'm sure you have.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're midway through preparing for the Olympic Games and Herb Brooks brings in the college kid from Minnesota, he's like, he's had a great junior year or whatever. We're going to bring him on. And you almost do it. Wonder if he's doing it to test the team. Be like, hey, Herb, he's not one of us. He's not been here. That's the really bad Boston accent. But hey, you know what? I'm most surprised that they have a spot on the roster for him because we've heard for weeks now that getting down to that magic number was going to be problematic.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah,
for sure. Much to look forward to this season.
It's going to be a wild one. Honest to gosh. He went through all the steps, and like you said, Minnie just showed up. But he's going to be eligible, which is how do you learn the playbook in a week? I guess I got to simplify for him.
You stick him on special teams for the first few games. I mean, realistically, we have Fidone, we have Borkercher, we have a third guy. I can't remember right off the top of my head because I'm watching Colorado. But I mean, he's probably going to be, Lindenmeyer. He'll appear in 4 games minimally so they can retain a red shirt. Did he keep his red shirt? Did he red shirt at LSU? or any place before
No.
that?
No.
So, you keep his red shirt.
He was a true freshman.
And there you go.
Mm-hmm.
The other Dave, which I believe is to mean not
that is so true.
David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. The other Dave says it's the Dylan Raiola effect. And then you have Mike Corrigan, who says this is going to be a fun season. Man, if you're getting former 4-star players just showing up on campus saying, take me, why not? Highlander Gunn, are you hearing us? He says, has the show started yet?
Well, I mean, we are
has.
gabbing.
We're into the topics. Come on now.
Okay.
And we're so far into the topic. Oh, yes.
We're on number 2 already. No, go ahead. We are on number 2, John. If you had the notes open, you'd know.
Oh, what? I'm not doing any notes. I'm watching Colorado's defense suck.
It's fun, isn't it?
My God, if the next year's supply of condoms was as big as sieve this defense from Colorado, the whole population explosion would happen, and 18 years from now, colleges would be overfilled. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say it's a great time. We remind people about this every week, John, just so you know, that our founder, fearless leader, our beloved Jon Johnston, has some books. One of them is the one that I'm holding in my hand. Been Dead, Never Been to Europe. He also has Manage Your Damage and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button's Dent in His Head. And in this case, it's John is the dent, or John is Benjamin Button. So you can get all of John's books at Amazon. It would be a great time for me to remind you that you can get sweet, sweet merch like this. Hashtag RTFB at cobbycorn.com. John, I want you to know, without any assistance from you, and this is not an indictment. I'm not here to shame you. I don't shame. Minnie does the shaming all on her own.
Yes.
I went from having 0 Cobby Coronation shirts to I have 3 now, and I paid for them all because I'm a big boy, and I can do that.
Yeah. Good job.
So looking forward to
Greg. By now, Greg, my God, I don't have shame. I don't feel shame. The hell?
Just wait. There'll come a time, Silver Fox, where Minnie will make a comment. Well, maybe not about you because you're beloved, and I'm not quite to that level. But she regularly. John,
what the heck? John.
Okay. It goes. There are most weeks where she fat shames me.
Does she?
Yeah.
No.
It makes me feel.
No.
Makes me feel really bad about myself.
No.
It's your head, isn't it?
Poor Greg.
Okay. Anyway, thank God I missed. I had a tough day, and I just feel like abusing somebody. Thank God I'm here for you, Greg.
I'm looking forward to it.
What's
the
next topic?
The last little bit here under our housekeeping is we always remind people to hit that like button over on YouTube, Facebook, of course. I don't know what they do on X, but subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure that you ring that bell for notifications so you know every time we drop a new stream, new episode. John's back in the bathroom sometimes, and you don't want to miss one of those. And hopefully after Saturday, instead of being in a bathroom, John will be out underneath a tree in peace, in a moment of zen, just beaming with pride for our beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers. So make sure you're not up to speed on all of it if you don't hit that notifications bell when you subscribe on YouTube. So that's what we do every week, John. It's really important for us to tell people that they need to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can make more money. And hoard it all.
Yes.
Okay. I love that.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Greg, are you ready for this?
I thought you were already going to take it. Go.
Well, I was going to, but you know what? I didn't realize we didn't have a picture for something, so I just got one. Okay. Depth chart.
Depth chart.
Depth chart. It came
Depth
out
chart.
this week. And we know who's going to be starting. We know who the ones are, the twos are. And Marcus Satterfield told us this week that Heinrich's going to be out there with Dylan a lot.
He did say that.
So
I'll drink to that.
What that means is we're going to see some maybe Wildcat plays, right?
That's a possibility. I think that if you put Heinrich and Dylan on the field at the same, but what are you going to do with that? Single wing Wildcat type stuff. But then Dylan, you don't want that guy getting hit a lot. So
right.
I think that's one of those things you just say to get people to react to shit. I don't think that I could see them have it. I've said this for years. I would love to see Heinrich Harburg or Nebraska. Nebraska use their quarterbacks with packages where they are running like Wildcat, which is like single wing type stuff. And Harburg, I think, would be very good at that because he can throw the ball a little bit. And if he's got new tutelage under the quarterback coach and he's got a quarterback coach that's actually paying attention to him, that's dangerous. Remember all those Tim Tebow jump passes?
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of shit that you could do with Heinrich Harburg because he's remember last year when he took off on a couple runs and you went, that son of a bitch is fast. He's a big guy. He's fast. I don't know if he's the most elusive person in the world, but when you combine that with, he could hit Thomas Fedoni or, Nate Boerkircher or Lindenmeyer, this new guy, you don't have to be a genius to run jump passes on the goal line, I don't think, although the timing needs to be good. There you go. That's what I'd do with him.
Let's also not forget that a year ago against Minnesota, he was starting as a tight end. So, we talked about it last night on our overreaction preseason preview or season preview show with myself, Haas, and Jake. And, we go back with Heinrich Harburg. Mark Whipple said, you'll never be a quarterback. And then
that's why. Yep.
Heinrich led the Huskers to all 5 of their wins last year in what was obviously a very muddled quarterback situation. So I think that it's perfectly safe to say maybe he just kind of line up off the ball and maybe he's in there in support. Maybe he's still we saw last year he was really kind of a top runner. I mean, you go back to like the Illinois game, etc. I mean, there are ways for him to see action without passing the football.
Well, you can, you can line him up out there and, the defense, screw with the defense. You know what I mean? Because they're probably thinking, okay, if he's on the field, he's going to get the ball. It's going to be a trick play. And then you can use him as a decoy in the first 3 plays he's on and then hit him in stride on the 4th play he's on. And, there you go.
You guys carry on with the show. I hear one of the twins crying. I got to go address that.
Okay.
I'll be back.
All right. Well, besides the Heinrich Harburg news, there were 2 surprises. We mentioned one of them on Monday night, Derek Branch.
Okay.
And Ramir Stewart. Both of them as safeties. Kind of out of nowhere. We weren't really expecting that. So Ramir Stewart's a redshirt freshman. And he made it on the depth chart. So it's kind of exciting.
Well, this UTEP game should be fun. I think, I think we're going to play a crap ton of players. What was it? 2 weeks ago, they said Matt Rule basically implied we don't know if we have the right guys on the field. Well, in order to figure out who the right guys are supposed to be on the field is, you put a whole shitload of guys on the field and you see how they perform. You see how they handle such different situations, especially on defense, because UTEP's going to throw the ball around. We'll find out what our defense, put some young guys out there and see if they learned know what they're doing.
Yeah, I love that. So then we get down to the Blackshirts. The Blackshirts.
Yep.
Well, Greg wanted to talk about this, but he's not here.
We can wait. We can wait. Minnesota has just scored to take a 13-7 lead over North Carolina. PAT pending. Here's something else I want to mention. Let's just take a look real quick.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Wait, let me take this off then. What?
Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin is ahead 70-0 at halftime over somebody called the North American Stallions. And I have no idea what that is. What is the North American Stallions?
70-0?
70. They were ahead 42-0 in the first quarter. They are Texas Gulf Institute, North American. I wonder if this is like they're an NAIA school.
Oh, okay.
Why are they playing them? I mean, Stephen F. Austin isn't like, I wonder if these people just started a football program or what the hell the deal is. We haven't seen a score. I don't even know what you do to keep that score under 100 in the second half. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I don't know if I've actually watched a game where the score has actually gotten into the 80s. I know that they can do it.
Yeah.
But
there was
Nebraska
versus Minnesota. Home? What's that?
Wouldn't you just go home at a certain point?
I think you can ask the officials for a running clock, which basically means the clocks just run. And I would guess that that's probably what the second half would be in that game. But, there was the 84-13 game over Minnesota in 1983. James Boardman has that. Yeah. Okay.
84-13. Yep.
Skip a topic and we'll come back to Greg. When he comes back, he can have the Blackshirts.
All right. Well, then the next topic is this guy, Scotty Walden.
Oh, I thought that was Ryan Reynolds.
They kind of look alike. Yeah, he's the head coach for UTEP now. It's his 7th season as a head coach, and he did phenomenal things at Austin Peay last year. In fact, he brought 64 new players on to the roster at UTEP and has the #1 signing class in Conference USA. He returned 9 starters from the UTEP roster, and he brought 11 players with him from Austin Peay. Really good players, too.
Okay, Brent Wolf says, is this dude the son of way back when Clones headman Jim Walden?
I don't think so. I think we have looked into that before. I don't think there's a relation.
Okay.
John.
My son keeps screaming. So the Minnesota
my dogs keep barking.
Minnesota
I don't know if you can hear
them. Well, they're actually playing. Yeah, maybe when I left the room, Minnesota started playing football, I guess. Okay, here's Greg.
Oh. There he is. We'll go back to UTEP after this, Greg.
Yep. That's a thing I found. Thought it was pertinent to share.
Greg?
The Blackshirts have been announced. And we've got 12 names on there. Basically, it's the starting 11 plus Cam Lenhart. And those starting 11 plus Cam Lenhart are Nash Hutmacher, Marquise Buford Jr., Tommy Hill, Malcolm Hartzog, Jamari Butler, Isaac Gifford, John Bullock, Ty Robinson, Deshaun Singleton, MJ Sherman, and Mackay. I don't know. Gabor. That's not how that's spelled. Bear.
You think that we would
Cam Linhart.
The G silent.
Bear.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I wasn't even looking.
So anyway, I just thought that that'd be pertinent information. We didn't have to worry about. We didn't have to have a bunch of drama waiting for it. We got told about it the week of the game, just like we should.
Is there anybody on that list that shouldn't be there?
No. They are all great players.
No, I don't think so.
Every single one of them.
I'm in agreement. I mean, I just get so excited about the front 3 or 4 when you got Nash and Robinson and Jamari Butler. Cam Linhart definitely proved himself as a freshman last year. Mm-hmm. You look at the secondary, and I'm so impressed. So I've been watching Minnie. I've been watching the Chasing Threes.
Chasing Three.
And the one I thought that I was starting the most recent one last night, but I had actually started like episode 5. It was one from June where they were really focusing on the running the stadium stairs. And, you see guys like Isaac Gifford, Marquise Buford Jr. really stepping up and assuming leadership roles in those situations. I mean, we have a very experienced defense. And for that, I mean, it brings me joy. Like, I feel like I don't have to go out and learn new names. Like, these are all guys we've heard of. We've seen their production. I'm excited for this group. And yeah, I say, the 11 plus Cam Linhart, that young man's going to see plenty of playing time. And I'm here for it. I'm excited for this group. I'm excited for this season.
What about MJ Sherman? What about MJ Sherman?
I love him. He's my favorite.
Why he is not? You are just saying that.
He is.
Why?
Because he came to Nebraska. This is why I love Nebraska right here. He came to Nebraska from Georgia with a chip on his shoulder. Right? As he put it in the Chasing Threes, he came like he was a big fish in a big pond. And he came to Nebraska not thinking in his high school career that he would ever be at Nebraska, right? Because given our record, he doesn't know where we come from. And he had a whole change of heart. When he got here, it was more his mindset was player focused. What do I need to do? What can I do for myself? And he said, my mindset had to change and become team focused, because every single one of us wants the same thing. And if we put the team first, that's how we get ahead. And that's why I love him so much.
He played 12 games. He played in 12 games and he had 16 total tackles.
That was last year.
Yeah.
This is what he has had to go through. His mind has had that mindset change. And he's even talked about it. He's ready. It's different this year.
Okay.
I do feel like after last year, correct me if I'm wrong, they had, and maybe they addressed this in a Chasing 3 or elsewhere, but he and Rule kind of had a come to Jesus moment and addressed some of those very topics or very concerns that MJ had about his time, his productivity, etc. And Rule, I mean, I don't want to say like set him straight, but it's like we're not a all for one place. We're a one for all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the best analogy, but that's the best one I've got. So
I love that. I'll take that analogy.
Now here's a take. Speaking of taking, Mike Corrigan says we need to stop with the Blackshirts. Now, this got brought up last night on the Overreaction season preview. Yeah, when you're 3-9, 4-8, and you're playing like hot garbage and you're not stopping anybody, yeah, maybe we don't flaunt the Blackshirts. But when there's some serious expectations for this group, when you look at what the team did last year in Tony White's first year as defensive coordinator, let's Minnie, correct me if I'm wrong, because you spoke with the man last week, Adam Carricker, talking about some of the traditions like the tunnel walk. But Blackshirt was on that list of things that he's very proud of, correct?
Yes. And in fact, I thought about what to title that episode, like the subtitle. And it says, the ultimate look of pride and commitment for Nebraska football. And that is what he was talking about. That is what Blackshirts are. I mean, you go out and you murder people. It's no holding back.
Well, if you win, you can get away with murder. Mike Corrigan follows that up and says, we need to stop with the black shirt nonsense. The starting 11 are black shirts. You know, the whole thing about
I think that's what we're saying.
Well, yeah, there's 12. There's 12 guys.
There's 11.
12.
There's a starting 11 plus Cam Lenhart. If anything, that should tell you how much we can expect to see Cam Lenhart rotating in on the defensive line.
And special teams.
I think it tells you that with the 3-3-5 is not really a 3-3-5. It's a 3-4-5, 6-7-8, and it just modifies itself depending upon who you're playing. It'll be a 3-3-5 against UTEP. It'll probably be a 4-3-5 or 4-2-5 against Michigan State. Did we play Michigan State?
We'll get there, John. No, we don't.
Okay.
Nope. Okay. Well,
that was fun. Moving on.
Back to this guy, UTEP. All right.
Yeah.
So this is Saturday's kickoff is at 2:30 Central Time in Lincoln. And, a lot of people have written this off as an easy win. I'm not so sure that this is going to be an easy win. Yes, Greg?
I'm just count me among those who say it's an easy win.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, Scotty Walden is going to bring everything he has, every arsenal weapon he has.
You're distracted by his rugged good looks, like his bad boy personality.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I'm not.
Come on, there is only one grown man in the history of the universe that deserves respect being called Scotty as a grown man. And that is the engineer of the original Star Trek.
I'm so glad that's where you're going with that, John.
Yeah, there you go. He's going to bring it.
He's going to bring it.
Minnie, he's a first-year coach with a whole shitload of first-year players coming to Lincoln, Nebraska.
No. He actually brought several of his players from Austin Peay. His offensive coordinator brought players from Texas Tech. So they have these players that they basically hand-picked.
Yeah.
That they wanted to bring in. The defense.
Wait a minute. Isn't that what recruiting is all about? Isn't recruiting just hand-picking the players that you want on your program?
Pick.
But he just brought them. Like, these are my players. Okay, these are the good players that I like. These are my guys. And I'm going to take them and just transplant them here. And now they're playing for me.
Okay, but still, when you say transplant them here,
they're still Austin Peay players.
Yeah, he still transplanted them to El Paso, and they have to get over the shock of living in El Paso, which will take them at least 2 months. So maybe later in the season, they'll be okay.
Yeah. Maybe.
At the end of the day, they're still Austin Peay players playing at UTEP.
Yeah.
You watch.
Playing in
great running back. They have not even hardly changed their defensive line. So we will see. But they're going to give us a run for the money. It's not going to be a blowout.
Okay, we'll see. Sounds like Minnie's Captain Optimism tonight.
I am. I'm just cautious. That's all.
I don't blame you. Know what? I don't blame you. We've seen our team shit the bed for like 18 years in a row, and it's.
No,
I
it's
can
not
understand.
that.
I can understand people's reticence to say, "Well, we might actually be good."
Oh, I think we're going to be good. I just think
not good
Will
enough
mentioned it.
to stomp a
mentioned
muddle in UTEP and walk them dry.
Watch the game,
I
Tennessee versus Austin P last year, and you'll be surprised at how well they play against Tennessee. And that's basically what we're going to be looking at. Plus, guess what? Their defense is a 3-3-5 defense as well.
Tony says if it's not a blowout, we might be in trouble this year.
We're not going to be in trouble. They're just going to try and attack us from every angle.
That's a false
They're
start.
smaller than us.
Come on. All right.
Okay. Well, now that we got that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? The false start they didn't call?
What?
Yeah, he's distracted by the game.
Yeah. Still,
I can tell.
Colorado still leads 24-20. It's the fourth quarter.
Ooh.
Okay. Greg, did you want to talk about this other thing that you have here?
No.
Okay.
We're good. In fact, I'm gonna go so far to remove it. Now I can see John twice. Now I don't know what this one is here. What's the other one, Minnie? Did I miss that?
Oh, remove.
It's the schedule.
Sometimes it does that. Yeah, it's the schedule.
We'll be fine.
Well, okay, we don't need it. You want to do it?
Let's begin. John, are you ready?
Am I ready for what?
For predictions, boss.
Sure.
42 minutes in. Look at
us.
We're moving along.
All
Hardly taking any comments. What's going on?
Well, Fred left because he's not feeling his best self. No Josh. Aaron Keen's out tonight. He's at a show at Red Rocks. I think we talked about that earlier in the week. So that's okay. Hey, look, our views are still over 500, and I'm tickled. Look, I haven't said it in a while, but I'm going to say it now. We appreciate you all. The fact that you give up your time to sit and watch us, interact with us, comment, and be part of the conversation. It is a tremendous family that we have built here. And John's throwing up over there. He's like, I can't take it. But we really enjoy our time together with you all. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are, whatever platform. I think the Chatterfields would probably agree the best version of the show is probably on YouTube when you can really engage in the comments. But
absolutely,
however and wherever you're consuming Coronation content, we appreciate you. And with that, let us get to our predictions. As always, is that all right, John?
Yeah, predictions.
All right. As always, how we do this, we'll start with week 2, and we'll come back and do the week 1 game at the very end.
Okay.
And if you want to give scores, you can. That's what Jake and Haas did last night. We typically don't. But Minnie, it is week 2. It's Colorado. It is going to be Saturday, September 7th, 6:30 kickoff. It's going to be on NBC nationwide. And it'll be my first time ever inside the old Gray Lady. So what do you have? How do you see that one going? Win, lose, score if you want to.
Well, obviously, especially after tonight, I have a win. But I may have to change my score after seeing them tonight. I thought they were going to actually make it based on last year somewhat difficult. But if they play like they're playing tonight, I don't think we're going to have any problems. I think we hold them to 13. And maybe we score over 30. So
it is important to remind you viewers. We'll take your predictions on a week-by-week basis. We just like to run down the entire season so we kind of have an idea of where everybody thinks will be come the end of November. So you believe it's a win. John?
I thought they were going to have more of a complete team because it's Shadur's and Travis Hunter's last year.
No,
and I'm not seeing a complete team.
That's what happens when you run everybody off.
We're talking about Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we already do UTEP?
Well, we always come back and do them last because that's the game. So, John, what do you think?
Here's the thing. Colorado, I'd probably do a lot what North Dakota State is doing. I'd run the ball a lot on them. I do think they are dangerous. I mean, they have Joe Horn's an excellent receiver. Travis Hunter is probably one of the best. Well, probably the best football player all around the nation. Shadir Sanders is. Greg just disappeared. Shadir Sanders is, he's a good quarterback. He's accurate. He doesn't have much of an offensive line. Again, they don't have their defense looks completely. North Dakota State has run, I don't know how many quarterback draws against them. They go out 5 wide, and then they just run the ball up the field for 8 to 10 yards. And it's not really even a challenge because if you can't figure that out, I mean, that's pretty minimum, I think. Especially when you do it at multiple times a game and you still haven't figured out this is what's going on. But I think Colorado's dangerous. They're dangerous in 2 ways. 2 ways, I'll say dangerous. Number one, they have excellent offensive players. They could just put the ball in the air and score a lot of points in a hurry. But I think the other problem with Colorado is, and I would say this, they're dangerous because they're undisciplined. And I think if Colorado gets into a game with Nebraska where we're starting to pound the shit out of them physically, at that point, they're going to get undisciplined. And I expect cheap shots from them. I expect them attempting to injure our quarterback.
Yeah.
We've seen that before from Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I expect dirty shit from them. That's what I mean about dangerous. But I do think we're going to beat the hell out of them. I think it's going to. I think they'll score some points. What?
Oh, sorry. I was just adding to what you were saying. Did you see Shador fall onto the ground and act like he had a leg cramp so that they got a timeout? Yeah. I mean, that's a perfect example of what you're saying.
It was the 10:09 in the second quarter of the first game of the season, and Colorado is faking injuries. And then the other Sanders kid, Shiloh, hit a guy out of bounds or hit a guy late. Yeah. It was 15 yards. Colorado just scored a touchdown to go up 30-20 unless they're flagged. What am I going to say for this game? I know. Are we given scores?
You don't have to. I'm not going to.
Okay. 38-20. I think they'll score. I think it's going to be difficult to not. By the way, Monday night I will be talking to a Colorado guy, so that'll be fun.
That'll be interesting.
I'm going to try to mostly interview our opponents' people.
That's good. 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 The opposite perspective. Hey, look. We all know old Greg's going to say Nebraska's going to win. It's like they know that I'm going to be in the stadium for the first time ever. And they know it's going to be.
Great.
What?
Can you do this in your voice?
What voice?
Give us that one.
My Batman voice.
Yeah, the deep.
Is that a Batman voice? You going to do where's
Greg Mehachko? Where are they? No, I think.
What are we going to do?
I think the team's going to know that it's my first time in Memorial Stadium. They're going to put on a special show, not just after the third quarter, but pillar to post, coast to coast. Nebraska's going to win, hands down, no problem. Suck it, Colorado. See you later, Ralphie. All right, then moving on to the following week. Yep, Dondre, not wrong. Playing dirty is a Colorado thing. So,
yeah.
All right, so then we have on the 14th of September, another 6:30 kickoff. Nebraska hosting Northern Iowa. John.
Yeah.
Win, lose, somewhere in between.
Well, that's going to be a win. It's a body bag game. It's the game you take your kids to because the tickets should be cheap, and you know what I mean. Hey, Nebraska starts out with 3 home games to start the season, and they're 3 winnable home games. So, yeah, I mean, Northern Iowa is a game where, like I said, you take the kids. A lot of guys play, and you're getting ready for the big show after that. They're 42-10.
Tony says, I think we're going to have Tommy Hill lock down Travis Hunter on defense.
I don't know about
really that. Good.
I like it. That will be an interesting battle, but Travis Hunter is really, you know what it's going to come down to is can Shadur have enough time to actually hit Travis Hunter when he's going down the field against Tommy Hill? I think that's the big key there. Is Shadur going to have enough time where he's not like, and I hope he doesn't. I hope he's constantly doing all day. He does that in his sleep, the night after, the weeks after. He's emotionally disturbed. There you go.
On Monday night, I think there should be a drinking game. I think that the chat should take a drink every time you say Shadur in your
he won't do it in front of the competition or the opposition. He won't do it.
You won't?
You won't say Shadur in the funny way. You'll be more
Shadur.
You'll be more proper about it.
Shittier Sanders. I don't know. It's Jack Boris, the guy that I interviewed last year, and he had a really good sense of humor. So, we may go at each other. I hope so. I mean,
Minnie, where do you think? How do you think that Northern Iowa game goes for our beloved boys in scarlet and cream?
Ooh.
Amazing. I think that they just killed them, murdered them, 48-7.
You're big on the on-field murdering tonight. I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, no shit. What the hell's the deal? Suddenly it's football season. It's like, murder, Dad.
So, John, I didn't want to correct you, but a moment ago you said Nebraska starts with 3 home games. They start with 4 because the following Friday, Illinois will be in town for the first conference game of the season. It's a 7:00 kickoff again. It's a Friday night game. And by the way, I didn't say it. We'll beat Northern Iowa. And you know what? I'm going to go first to say we're going to beat Illinois as well. And I think if Illinois has another subpar day, then Burt Bielema's days in Champaign are going to be numbered. Minnie?
I think it may be a little closer than the other 2 games. No, I'm not. I think that we could see them go for 2 to 3 touchdowns, but we will obviously conquer them and score closer to 30.
That's kind of aligned with what both Haas and Jake said. They said 28 and 31 points respectively. So, John, how about it? Nebraska, Illinois on a Friday night.
Nebraska 35, Illinois 10.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh my God! What are you calling?
Oh my gosh!
It was 4-1. North Dakota was going to run a sneak. The quarterback smashed directly into the defensive player who didn't tackle him. He took off up the field, and they blew the play dead. I don't get what's going on there. Anyway, okay.
I tell you what, they're in for the big marks. They blew the play dead too early there. They blew the whistle too late against Nebraska, Michigan a few years back, and it cost Nebraska the game there. So, yeah.
Greg, I like Brent Wolf's comment here.
Will Rule be accused of whale spearing with the Dove versus Illinois? That's great, Brent. Thank you. That's tremendous. Yeah. Well, the problem is you're not. I mean, it's not like the 1800s. Going whaling's kind of frowned upon now. So you have to figure out another way to go about it. You can't pull his teeth out.
What'd you say the score is going to be?
I don't say the scores. I only
Okay,
give the
you said
scores
they
when
win.
we get. I only give the scores when it's the show right before that game. So I'll give the
And
score for UTEP.
last year you went to see Illinois, right?
I did on a Friday night again with my boy and one of my friends. And Nebraska won that game. Heiner Carberry had a nice game. We got free hot chocolate and half a free pretzel. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do just as well.
Only may all your hot chocolates be free, Minnie.
Thank you.
After Illinois and an extra day of rest, Nebraska goes on the road for the very first time Saturday, September 28th. It's at 11 o'clock. First game 5, and you finally get to an 11 a.m. kickoff. It's at Purdue, West Lafayette. Minnie, how do you see this one going? Win-loss somewhere in between, score optional?
Win-loss or somewhere in between? There's somewhere in between.
No, I was just being facetious. I was trying to be fun, trying to be funny.
He's a radio guy. He's a former radio guy. Everything he says is to extend time because they had to fill so much time on the radio.
Oh, I know this.
He is he's a master at that.
Yes,
thank you. Talk to me about this White Claw. Let's talk about this, shall we?
All right. My God, we're going off the rails, aren't we?
We're not going to get done in an hour if I do that. What flavor is that White Claw?
Mango.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your refreshment pleasure, the Mango White Claw Hard Seltzer. In a white can, it is deliciously refreshing. A carbonated beverage with just a hint of alcohol. You can't even taste it. I assure you, you'll look like a tool drinking one. And and even worse, you'll make me talk positively about it.
I'm just bringing out your best talents. I'm helping you.
My best talent is bullshitting. You are not wrong. All right. West Lafayette, Purdue, Minnie, go.
Win.
Okay. John.
Well, Phil still picks Purdue to be the last in the conference. I think they have a good coach, but they're still Purdue. So let's say 31-13.
Cool. I also think it's going to be a win on the road. Nebraska improves to 5-0, and we progress to the homecoming game, October 5th. It's going to be one of 3 time slots, 11 a.m., 2:30, or 3, depending. They have yet to figure that one out. The homecoming presented by Hy-Vee, Nebraska versus Rutgers. John, a lot of concern about this Rutgers team coming into the 2024 season. Do you think Nebraska has what it takes to hold off the Scarlet Knights and properly celebrate a Husker homecoming in victorious style?
You know what? There is, 8 billion people on the earth now? 8 billion?
Close to it.
Yeah, there's 8 billion. And there's only one guy that knows how to win at Rutgers, at Piscataway, New Jersey, and he's there.
Greg Schiano.
He's the only person that knows how to win at Rutgers. I would be concerned if this game was in Piscataway, but it's in Lincoln. And I think, over the last few years, Nebraska's played a lot of tough, close games, and it's time for them to turn around one-score games and start winning them bastards. So if everybody's concerned about Rutgers defense, what they should be, because they're going to be a little bit good, they're going to play tough football. I just think that, let's say 24-14 Nebraska.
So I want to just point this out. According to the most recent estimations by the United Nations, which is 2022, so it's the most up-to-date data that we have, an estimated 7.951 billion people on the face of this earth. And you're right, John. There's only one of them who's figured out how to win in Piscataway. That's Greg Schiano. So,
John, North Dakota State.
Oh, daddy.
And he went back to pass, and the whole field's open for him. So he just takes off on a 20-yard run. Cam Miller scores. Let's see. What is there? About 4 minutes left.
I'll have to do the onside kick here, right?
Stoned Colorado students look aghast. That would be my caption for the photo that I would take of those students.
So what's the score? It's 31-26.
If I was North Dakota, well, there's only 2:19 left. 31-26. North Dakota should go to 2 to get it within 3, and they are.
Okay.
There's not room for them to run a quarterback draw, otherwise they could. Here's a missed throw on the pass. He had an open receiver, or kind of open, but he underthrew the ball. So it's 31-26, 2:19 left.
Minnie.
Colorado's winning. Just in case, people.
Nebraska Rutgers.
I have not felt good about this game all year. I have not seen anything to make me feel good about this game. So I'm just going to say, I'm sorry to call it, but I'm going to call it a loss. First loss. But can I read?
Oh, you're putting a little disclaimer asterisk on here, aren't you?
So what we always do, because we do the season predictions right now, game by game, but every week at the end of the show of every week, make sure you put it in your notes. The very last thing is we do our predictions for that game with the score. So as we get closer to it, maybe something happens between now and week 6
yes,
week 5, I suppose. I'm sorry. No, shit, it is week 6. And then you say, oh, I want to revisit that. I want to change that. You have full availability.
I hope I change it. I hope I change it.
Brent Wolf says, come on, Minnie, you need more Roulade.
Okay.
Here's another score update. After scoring 70 in the first half, there's only 3:31 in quarter 4, and Stephen F. Austin is ahead 77-0 over the North American Stallions. They are playing a safety at quarterback. So they managed to barely score in the second half as to not look like complete bastards. So there you go.
That's interesting.
All right. And of course, on homecoming, I say Nebraska beats Rutgers. So moving on to Indiana. This game is going to be in Bloomington, and we have the benefit of a bye week before it. So Saturday, October 19th, no time yet, but Nebraska and the Hoosiers. Minnie, what do you think for this one? So that's a W. She says a W. How about you, John?
No, I think we should beat Indiana. I think they're still trying to get their shirt together. I'm not sure about that. I'm their shirt together. Their shirt.
That's what
was.
I'm just not used to you keeping it clean for the kids.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Having mercy on Indiana because God knows they're not going to be good at football.
He's not mad yet. Nobody's really pissed him off yet tonight.
Well,
yeah, Greg. Yeah.
Come on, say it. No, not that. Why you gotta attack me like that?
Okay.
No.
What's
you gotta say
next?
it. You were this close.
What do you mean?
You were about to call me a shit ass.
No, I actually wasn't. I was going to call you a tiny wiener man.
Oh, okay. Well, accurate on both.
Yeah.
All right. So I say
mix it up, man. I gotta mix it up.
Yeah, but shit ass is it's evergreen. All right. So I said Indiana. Next we go on the road.
Yeah. To
Columbus, the Horseshoe, Ohio State. Saturday, October 26th. This is the one where we're talking, if Nebraska's 7-0 and have a top 10 defense, a top 15 offense, and this could be the game of the week, ESPN game day, blah, blah, blah. What?
No.
Stephanie. We're focused on the Ohio State game.
All right, I'm gonna come back to that, Stephanie. We're gonna have words. All right, Ohio State, Nebraska, Ohio State, Huskers, Buckeyes.
It's a loss.
Okay. John says,
listen.
no
Ohio
faith.
State's got Ryan Day, they got Chip Kelly as their offensive coordinator. Their whole team is built to lose like 3 guys on the depth chart and still be the best team in America. They're loaded all over the place. The problem that you're going to have everybody's going to have the problem against Ohio State is how do you stop? Normally what you do with a team is you go, where's their weak point? It's the Sun Tzu art of defense. You say, where's their weak point? Where can we stop them and force them to be one-dimensional? You really can't do that against Ohio State because they just have wide receivers coming out their ears, running backs.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage
45 points a game.
I encourage both of you to go back to last night's show. Myself, Haas, and Jake. They make compelling arguments for where they see vulnerability with Ohio State this year. They have a quarterback who was not named the starter at Kansas State. I don't want to rehash the entirety of their conversation, but how can you not be good enough at Kansas State, but all of a sudden be the golden child in Columbus? It don't make no sense. So compelling arguments. I say, look, I made Haas had a great list of questions last night. He said, what's your bold prediction for 2024? I said, we're going to play Ohio State twice and we're going to win one of those games. So I say win. I think the thing missing about Will Howard couldn't make the starting at Kansas State is that it doesn't matter what he did last year. Will Howard beat out some really good other quarterbacks on the depth chart at Ohio State to become the starter. You don't just like come over there and go, I think I want to start. And they go, okay, Will, you can start. Without beating out, I can't remember Lincoln Kineholtz. I can't remember the names of the other quarterbacks, but they're good. They're good players, and Will Howard may not be the starter by the time when they play Nebraska, because they'll just be able to go, here's another robot guy with a cannon arm that can just kick everybody's ass because they have like 18 5-star everything.
Yes.
Minnie, didn't you miss this?
No. Well, he's right. He's 100% right.
But didn't you miss John?
I always miss John. That's why I always hang out with him behind the scenes on Mondays.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Minnie, how do you see Nebraska, Ohio State going? That's true.
I hang out with you on Fridays.
Thursdays too.
And Thursdays.
How do you see Nebraska, Ohio State, possibly part 1 going, Minnie?
Oh, well, I like your take. And it would make me the happiest person, the happiest girl in the entire world, if that were true. But Ohio State has the #1 NIL collective. They can pay. They have so much money, and that's why they have 5-star everything, best coaches, best everything. So I think they're definitely going to give us a run for our money. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be as ugly as it was last year against Michigan, but it's going to be a loss.
Okay. All right, let's get back on track then.
You're writing this down, right?
Brother, I got a full-size piece of paper this time.
Okay.
Look at that.
All
right. Up next, it's UCLA. I know nobody refers to them as that. UCLA, Saturday, November 2nd, back at home in Lincoln Memorial Stadium. Huskers and the Bruins. And I'm going to go first this time, and I'm going to say win.
Ooh.
I think UCLA is a team trying to find its way.
Well, they have a first-year coach who's
that's right. Minnie?
Go ahead, John. Oh,
they're playing in November in Lincoln, Nebraska, with a first-year head coach that's probably didn't do so well at Big Ten media days. Not that means anything. I just think it's going to take a little bit if UCLA is going to get to be a good program, it's going to take them a little bit to get there.
It's going to.
I just think that they're I'm not sure what to think of UCLA. Sometimes I think, okay, they have all that LA, they have all the people around it. They should have recruits coming out their ears, but they're not good at it. And I think it's like they barely pay attention to it. Oh my God, that's pass interference on North Dakota State. You got to call that. Yeah, there it is. All right, but we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them 28-17. I'll say. You notice my scores aren't that high, and that's because Nebraska's offense doesn't have to be 48 points a game for us to have a good season. No. They just have to score in the mid-20s and above based on last year.
Yep.
Minnie?
I said win.
Oh. All right, now here's
such disdain.
Yeah, welcome to my typical.
You're not paying attention to her. You're a man not listening to her.
Then here's the fun thing. Middle of November, Nebraska gets to go and play in Los Angeles. Nebraska, Cornhuskers, the USC Trojans. Minnie, I'll let you go first.
Win. Even though USC is going to be a great team, it's going to be a close game, but I think Nebraska pulls it out.
Let's see.
The guys will be just so happy that we're playing in California in great weather. They'll just be.
Stephanie Jackson, by the way, says, I'm a big Husker fan. I will say we're going to beat USC. So there you go, Stephanie. And Stephanie, we do the show every Thursday night, 9:00 Central. So come in every week and share your. John, are you?
Did you?
Yeah, that was. Did you not pay attention?
I'm fucking with you. No, I was looking over there, seeing Shadur Sanders get hit in the head, and they didn't call anything, which is, that's too bad. He did. He got the helmet right up under the chin. Anyway,
watching Jon watch this game is actually
Stephanie
frustrating as anything, because I actually have the game to watch after the show.
Oh, is the Minnesota North Carolina game will still be going because they started late. So
I'll watch that later. I'll watch that one later.
What
as well?
Are you going to watch the Colorado North Dakota State after the show?
I'll finish it. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
now I feel like,
it's going to be done by then. Okay, Stephanie, you said we'd lose to UTEP by a field goal, but we're going to beat USC. I'm going to say we're going to lose to USC. I just, you're going to go out to California in November. You're playing USC on their home turf. I know Caleb Williams is gone. They still have Lincoln Riley. They have a new defensive coordinator. I just feel, I don't know. USC again. USC is one of those teams they underachieved so badly last year. I feel like they're going to make up for it this year. So there you go. Wow.
I think that Nebraska is going to make up for, almost 20 years ago, the home and home we had with USC back when, the Nebraska was still in the Big 12 and there was still a Pac-10. And I think they're going to make up for that. They're going to exercise some of those demons. I think Nebraska is going to get that dub on the road. It'll be a lot easier for them to go down and enjoy the warm climate than it is for UCLA, for example, the week prior to come up and, acclimate to the cold temperatures. So, all right, moving on. We got familiar foes up next. We've got Wisconsin, and that one's going to be Saturday, November 23rd, my wife's birthday. So let's talk about it. This one's going to be at home, Lincoln Memorial Stadium. John.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Wisconsin. I think Luke Fickell would have been my choice if we wouldn't have got Matt Rule. I think Luke Fickell is a really good coach, but I don't know if he fits that well at Wisconsin. I think didn't they hire Alex Grinch?
They definitely hired some Grinch. I don't know which. I think it was the one that stole Christmas.
Jim Leonard left. Let's see. Who was the new defensive coordinator for Wisconsin? I thought that, yes, they did. They hired Alex Grinch. He was the guy at USC that couldn't play defense for the shit. On the other hand, they didn't focus on it. It's a long way around to me saying that, I think Nebraska is going to beat Wisconsin because I don't think Wisconsin has it together yet. And I'm not sure what they're doing. If Luke Fickell's going to become like a Lincoln Riley, where he's like, oh, we're going to play offense and we don't give a shit about defense, which would be a really big mistake for them. I'm skeptical about where Wisconsin's going. I think I have this two losses right now, don't I?
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have Minnie, go ahead. I'll let you go up next.
Okay. Yes, easy win.
Easy win.
Easy win.
Talk about exercising demons.
Win over Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Haas reminded us last night that Nebraska has not defeated Wisconsin since the iPhone 4.
He's a prick like that, bringing up that kind of stuff.
He also reminds me every couple of weeks that or every couple of shows that we do that Nebraska hasn't been to a bowl game since the Obama administration. So think about that. It's not. Look, he's a tremendous guy. I love him to death, but sometimes he can really take the piss out of things. But all that being said, Nebraska is gonna win against Wisconsin on November 23rd, and then last but not least, November 29th. It is another primetime game. I'm sorry, another evening kickoff, 6:30 p.m. Nebraska in Iowa City to take on those turd birds. And Nebraska, Iowa on Black Friday. Minnie, where's your heart? Where's your head on this one?
It better be a W.
Okay, better be is not a prediction.
Or else. No, it's going to be.
I also say a win because, it's got to be. John, Nebraska, Iowa, Black Friday. Who you got? Who do you love?
Well, number one, if I pick Nebraska to lose, I think everybody would want to burn me alive.
We would stop getting traffic at coordination.com.
There's an incentive to not pick against Nebraska in this game. Here's the thing. Torrey Taylor is gone. Cooper DeJean is gone. Iowa has a lot of their team back. But I just don't think Cade McNamara is going to be that great a quarterback. Again, they got a new offensive coordinator. Is that going to change things much? I don't think so. We beat them in Iowa the last time we played there. Here, I'll make this bold prediction. You want a really bold prediction?
Yes.
This game will be for who plays Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game.
Interesting.
I agree.
Because when you look at Iowa's schedule, Iowa got a cupcake schedule, and they shouldn't lose very many games. They should have a pretty good schedule this year. And I think Nebraska is going to be much improved. And by God, if you're going to do this kind of stuff like we do, you might as well make bold predictions, because why the hell not? You can remind everybody if you get them right, and everybody will forget if you got it wrong.
Who's Jack Del Rio?
Jack Del Rio, he was Raiders head coach years ago.
Jaguars too.
That they brought in Jack Del Rio as a defensive assistant this week.
Wisconsin did. Wisconsin did.
This week?
Yeah. As an analyst.
Okay, why would you do that?
Not so much an assistant, but he's an analyst. So
because they need help.
Well, I guess that's why I would do that. I would go, I don't really have faith here. We need some help.
All right. So here it is for Iowa. For my prediction, I don't know if Iowa's going to be in the picture, John.
Oh, my God.
What?
Hail Mary.
Oh, what?
North Dakota catches it at the 5.
With time left?
No. This was the perfect outcome for this game for Nebraska. 31-26 final. Colorado did not look good. They
Nope.
Shadir again, Travis Hunter, Joe Horn, those players look excellent. They're good players, but their defensive line, their defense all over the place is just poopy. Their offensive line is marginal. They're undisciplined still. This was the perfect outcome for Nebraska because it's still, they come in with their first win over a tough FCS team that people thought they might lose to, and they'll come into Nebraska undefeated. And then we can beat the shit out of them. So it's a perfect outcome for Nebraska.
I think
perfect outcome. Perfect outcome.
Can I talk now?
No.
Okay.
What? Go ahead. My God. I have 7 brothers and sisters I grew up with. And if I wanted to be able to say anything, I didn't have to go, could I say something? I was right charge in there.
You just have to say
the
it.
food before them sons of bitches took it all.
And I only had one sister.
Yeah. Well,
and I learned
what
manners.
Happened to you? Yeah, you learned manners. I didn't learn. You know what I learned? Manners. I learned how to stab people with a fork if I wanted anything to eat.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if Iowa is going to be in a place to be able to say the winner of that Black Friday matchup goes to face Ohio State in the college or conference championship game. I do think that this is, I don't want to call it like the Nebraska redemption tour, but I feel like this is the year that Nebraska is going to right a lot of wrongs. And I'm going to say a win, Jon Johnston, Minnie Hunt.
I love it. Hey, real quick.
Hey, yes.
Since that game just ended, I looked at the Colorado schedule earlier today, and I just wanted to show this. They do not have an easy schedule. In fact, it's really going to be hard. They're going to have a lot of L's. So this is probably the one W that they get, and they had to fight tooth and nail for it.
I don't know if I call that as difficult as I'm not trying to be argumentative. I hate Colorado, and I hope they lose every game forever. And their stadium implodes.
Arizona, Clemson, USC, Baylor.
I don't see Clemson.
That's
Cincinnati. Texas Tech.
I'm sorry.
Utah. Kansas.
Kansas State will be
Oklahoma State, Kansas State, UCF, Baylor. They could lose to Colorado State, which would be kind of hilarious.
It's loaded, which they did last year.
No, I think they come back.
No, they won narrowly.
Yeah.
Did they come back and win?
Yeah, they did in overtime. They did, and everybody was sad. And you know what?
They shouldn't have won.
Sometimes I stay up at night late and I weep for Colorado and their tough schedule.
Never.
All right. Well, let's get to it now. And that is, of course, the game this weekend. Nebraska and the University of Texas, El Paso. It is going to be an afternoon, a matinee, if you will, with a 2:30 Central kickoff. Memorial Stadium. Minnie, this is the one where we give a score.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, wait. Okay. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Let's look at what the Chatterfields had to say, because we had a lot of predictions in there. Obviously, let's address this. Stephanie says prediction we lose to UTEP by a field goal. She said this is like a weird opposite, the upside down type of year where we lose games we're not supposed to lose and we win games that maybe we're not supposed to win. Let's see. Tony says.
Wait, I have a question. Is Stephanie Jackson Haas's girlfriend?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think Stephanie has a cry for help there. Stephanie, if you want to help, just let us know in the comments what you need help with. If you're feeling sad and lonely or something, I'm sure somebody can help you.
Tony says we're going to hit Thomas Fedoni for a 30-yard pass on the first play and score within 6 plays. That is right. And I believe the over-under for Fedoni's receiving yards is 24.5. So it'd be a good time to place a little wager on the over for Thomas's receiving yards in the game against UTEP. Let's see. Don Dre says UTEP will make it close in the first half, but Nebraska will pull away in the second half. Let's see. Tony also says 56-14. Nebraska. Dylan throws for 300 in 3 quarters. We run for over 200 as a team when we finish the turnover margin +3. We didn't really talk too much about the turnovers this tonight. Let's just keep the turnovers in the rear view mirror is all I have to say. Joe Lilakis says 45-17, but it's close until midway through the third quarter.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Let me scroll up. Jason Reeves says 56-9. That's pretty close. Tony also says Walden's a good coach, but there should be no way that this game against UTEP is within a 3-touchdown margin. I'm sticking with my prediction of 56-14. Let's see if I'm missing any other ones. Oh, I think I just missed one. Tony also said, all right, let me get your opinion on this before we get to our predictions. Tony thinks that local Nebraska media is vastly underestimating how good this team is going to be this year. John, is that a situation, in your opinion, of, we've been hurt too many times, so we're going to downplay it?
I think listen, I don't take the prediction stuff really, really seriously. I do think that we have a chance to be a good team. A lot of that depends on, can we get through a season without a lot of injuries? And if Dylan Royola goes down, who's quarterback 2 that can actually run the offense and stuff like that, I think a lot of people are doing is underestimating that new guy that came in from the NAIA, or
Jalen Gramston.
Anyway, Nebraska media, I mean, the thing is they have to be taken serious because they're no Nebraska media, and they're not going to go out on a limb too far to predict something that just hasn't happened. Because they're probably going to, they get a lot of shit from people. The difference between the guys like Steve Sipple or Robin Washit, what is that his name? Steve McCune. The difference between them and like me is I don't do this for a living.
Sam McCune.
Those guys, Sam. Those guys do this for a living, and they're going to be a little, conservative about everything. So, and they've been burned in the past. And when they get too much shit,
we've all been burnt.
They tend to be fired. So, there goes their livelihood in a job where there aren't, I'm an IT. And granted, I'm a 62-year-old guy with a TBI brain injury. Nobody's going to hire a new IT guy 62 years old. But if all my life I was in IT and I went, oh no, I get fired for this job. Oh my God, there's no more IT jobs anywhere. Well, that's the lie, because there's IT jobs everywhere. Media jobs are not hard. They're not easy to get if you get fired. So, that's why they're going to be conservative. That's why they're going to they're not going to say crazy things like Nebraska and Iowa are going to play for the chance to play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. They're just not going to do that.
Or Nebraska is going to play Ohio State twice and win one of those games.
Yeah. So,
Mike Cordy, I didn't start this one. One of you two geniuses did, and prolonging the show, and that's okay. Mike Cordy says, who do you triple team, Ty or Nash? And I think from the beginning, you can't. You got to at least figure out if you can man up against both of them one-on-one and then adjust from there. I don't think – here's the thing. You can't triple team either. At best, you can double team probably Ty, and then hope that your left tackle is going to be able to –
I was wondering this. Actually, I'm glad that somebody asked this question, because Nash is nose tackle. Nose tackles typically don't get double teamed.
Well, they do if you're Nash Hutmacher.
Is probably. That okay?
Here's the thing. It's not about the nose tackle getting double teamed. It's about this question is backwards. Okay. It is. Okay. It's about, because when you look at last year's statistics, let's see, Ty Robinson is 12th in total tackles and Nash is 9th. Their job is to eat up guys.
Right.
So it's about, can they triple team an offensive player? In other words, can they eat space enough that they're taking on 2 guys all the time? Because then you've got 2 guys that are good enough to take 4 guys on. And then the whole offense is fucked. If you want to look at how we could kill Colorado and Shadir Sanders, it's by Ty and Nash literally taking up 4 blockers, leaving people like John Bullock and come on, who's the guy I just made fun of a little bit ago? MJ Sherman, Mike A. Bayor. It's for those guys those 2 guys, the big defensive tackles, taking up guys and letting those linebackers just go screaming in at Shadir Sanders. That's what we want to see. Because, Ty and Nash are not going to outrun Shadir Sanders. Our linebackers might outrun him, and they might kill him. And that would, like Mr. Potato Head, just bam, bam, and then, bam, pieces fly all over the field, and they have to call timeout, have to put him back together and go, oh. And then the announcer wait, he's a tough guy. One thing about that guy, he's underrated. His toughness is underrated. That's the kind of shit they need. That's what we need to hear during the Nebraska-Colorado game. What?
Are you saying that we are going to take Shadir Sanders apart like Mr. Potato Head?
I'd be okay with that. I mean, I don't want him to get injured. That. I would like to watch him fly apart and then, have people put him back together. You could put his nose where his mouth is and his mouth where his eyeball is.
Are you talking about Mr. Potato Head or Humpty Dumpty?
Well, didn't you see Toy Story? You remember the car crashing into Mr. He'd always blow. There you go. That's what I always think of when I think of quarterbacks getting hit. Bam!
We just so you know, folks, we were on pace. We started predictions 45 minutes ago.
We did?
We did it.
Yeah.
And we did
We're not done
John
yet.
Oh my God, with the game. We finished, actually, didn't we?
We haven't done the UTEP ones yet. Mike Corrigan says MJ Sherman has a game. I think that's a prediction for the UTEP game. Let's see here. We've got a couple more. Phil Spear says 45-10 Huskers. James Boardman says 31-3 Nebraska. Defense will be fired up. Gifford with a 37-yard pick six. That is very precise. And I'm here for it if it happens. Vince Watson says 27-10 dub. Mottzilla says if we have any sort of cornerback this year, we beat Colorado. I think we've got a few of those, Mottzilla. So thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see. Boardman says Huskers could be anywhere between 5-7 or 10-2. We'll have a good idea after the first three games.
Yeah.
And all right, it is now time. Wait, hold on. Yep. Okay. We'll do our predictions and we'll finish this up with some social business. So, Minnie, Nebraska and University of Texas El Paso. Give me who you think's going to win and a score prediction.
As difficult as I think it's going to be, because they're, like I said, they're bringing their A game.
They're bringing the Austin P game. Woo!
They are seriously undersized compared to our players. So, with that being said, I say the score is 38-10.
That's what I was going to pick.
John, you can keep it. You can change it.
I'm going to make mine 38-13 then.
Oh,
great.
Ooh, do we win something?
Let's see. Josh Hanson's here.
You can win a T-shirt that Greg buys for you.
That's true. Although, allegedly, there's nothing for the ladies at copycorn.com. That's what the big complaint is.
John, there's no women's T-shirts.
I need to go back sizes. To it then. Really? There's unisex.
Really?
I thought there were some crop tops and things. We'll talk about this before. Okay.
Josh Hansen says, finally made it in. Some shit ass stole my gas can while I was mowing. Just had to be in it to see John's glowing silver locks and say game week GBR. And also 35-17 my always pick. That's never right. So there you go.
Oh my God.
John, you have beautiful hair.
I'm going to say,
a mind of its own.
Here's where I'm at. I like the cut of this jib so much. I'm going to say Nebraska 48 and UTEP 21. And I think one of those is going to be like one of those UTEP scores is going to be in mop up garbage time at late. So
you're disgusting.
Why?
Because
how am I disgusting?
You think those miners are going to score 21 against us? Have you seen our defense?
We're going to bring their A game.
I did. I did. But I don't think they're going to score very much. I said
one of them is going to be in mop-up time.
Okay.
Stephanie Jackson wants to buy a shirt. It's so hard to find women's Husker gear.
That's why I thought there was women's stuff.
Stephanie, Check out cobbycorn.com. Let's see. Josh said here, women can wear hoodies and stocking hats just as well as John. So you can get your winter apparel now. John, you should put a sale up there, like 15% off all winter wear to get you ready.
We will have stickers this year.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
That's
good.
exciting. You can wear stickers.
I've been told that people like stickers. I'm
gonna get 2 stickers and I'm gonna strategically place them.
Oh my gosh! You promise?
Okay, then that's it. Thank God we got that in before the end.
I couldn't let the show end without that. All right,
normally he's titillating his boob light.
That's right, John. Are you familiar with my boob light here?
Yeah, I have 2 of those.
See?
Oh my gosh.
James Boardman says cobby corn thongs for women. Or I guess theoretically men if you wanted to be uncomfortable.
That's called a banana hammock.
That's true.
What? You kids make up the weirdest shit.
All right.
What kids?
Vince Watson wants to know, first of all, John, are you going to the Colorado game?
That is my plan.
Are you going to be with us at Kink Aiders?
Well, if I go to the Colorado game, yes, unless I'm in jail.
Well, that's not going to be the case.
Don't get thrown in jail.
So obviously we call it Kinkaders. That's where we're going to have our, what are we calling it, John? Just a casual, informal coordination meetup Friday night?
A gathering.
A gathering, okay.
Maybe we should call it a revival.
Here's my only concern, and this is going to be a reference that's going to be lost on many. My only issue with calling it a gathering is that's what they call it for the Juggalos. They call it the gathering of the Juggalos, and I don't really know if we want to be associated. What is a Juggalo? No, let me think for a second.
Too long.
Well,
oh my God.
He gets butt naked. Then he walks through the streets winking at freaks with the 2-liter stuck in his butt cheeks. Insane clown posse, Minnie. It's been a long time since I listened to ICP.
We can have a session and describe, tell you that. Nobody. Oh my God! Nobody would.
They jumped on that.
People out of 1,000 would go, "Oh, it's a gathering of the Juggalos," because they would all be like, "Minnie, what's the Juggalos?"
That's right. Okay, so Highlander Gun says we should have Johnalos.
Oh my God! We could just call it a revival.
There you go, Josh. The Juggalos and the Circle Jerks going on tour soon.
John, you'll never live down your Circle Jerk story.
That's probably why he stopped coming around, if you think about it.
I think it is. This is the last story.
Marianne Roberts, hands together for North Dakota State for giving Colorado their first scare of the season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Indy State.
Very true, Marianne Roberts.
And then Brent Wolf asked Greg, you ever been to Kinkaider prior to next Friday's visit? I've not. The last time I was in Haymarket was 12 years ago. And I went to Laszlo's with some coordination crew. Actually, I guess now they're technically former coordination crew. So I'm excited. I am so excited to get back to Lincoln for the first time in a long time. See not just the two of you, but so many others from coordination, the Chatterfields, and Haas is going to be there. And then to take in my first game inside Memorial Stadium. I am so pumped for next weekend. It can't get here soon. Just so excited.
I'm going to get beat. What is that? No, Minnesota's going to get beat. See?
Oh, you know what? It's 13-22 left. Minnesota's ahead 14-13 over North Carolina.
Ah. Wow. I hope
Tony, you're right. Tony says ICP's been together since 1989. They've lasted longer than most of your parents. I heard that same clip on, I think, TikTok or something like that as well. I know exactly where that came from, Tony. Thank you. Great. Appreciate the chuckle. All right. I think that's it. Is it not?
That's it.
John,
yes,
do you have any more words of wisdom?
No, we should end now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, didn't know I was interfering
Remember,
with
Monday
your stacked
night-
social life.
Monday night, watch John and the Colorado dude, and there
Yeah.
might be a drinking game involved. On Tuesday, we have
It's
What do
not
you
even
know?
all the right movies anymore. It's Andy Ketterson doing his football show. That's all we know.
That's all we know.
As long as he keeps the intro under 30 seconds, I'll be tickled.
Andy will be in the
And-
press box this year, so
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
We'll have to make sure that
And-
he keeps all of his exuberance for Tuesdays instead of going bananas in the press box.
Will we see Haas again next week?
We're going to have our coordination overreaction sometime, probably record it Sunday night. So we'll probably
Okay.
get it out there at some point.
So look for that and then meet us here again next Thursday.
I'm right there with you, Stephanie. So hyped for Saturday. And Phil wants to know, what time are we doing the gathering, John?
I don't know. I'm not in charge. You and Patrick are in charge.
Okay, we'll have more specific details next week.
I think you told me 7:30.
Sure. We'll figure that out.
Basically,
Vince
I
wants
need
to know
to plan it.
any volleyball shows on Coronation this year. Who is dicking with my comments?
It's Minnie.
Not me. No, John. Obviously, it's John. Jeez.
While we don't have a specific volleyball show, there are various intervals throughout the football season where we'll have Beth on, maybe Miley now, to have some really top-notch volleyball discussion. But we haven't really done I've tried in the past to get like trying to phrase this in a way that, the women of Coronation to like put together their own show. I think that'd be tremendous and hear just all their thoughts and perspectives. But nobody's got the time except for Minnie. So, that's not enough.
Should I be insulted?
No, like I've and honestly, I haven't brought
tell
it up.
me if you're insulting me.
I haven't brought it up in a while, but like, Jill and Beth and Bree, I've tried seeing it and it's never worked out. So, John, are you familiar with this? Do you know what's going on here?
Oh my God! What?
Wait, no! Turn off your lights. Turn off your lights first.
All right, hold on. I got.
And this is our exit, John.
Is it?
Yes,
Apparently.
it's fabulous.
Yeah, you say that now, but you usually hate it. All right, I'm gonna turn my microphone off so I don't bump
Okay.
something.
Oh my God! Oh, that's awesome.
John, stay
What?
with us. One second. Do you know how to do the rap?
I think John and rap are not two things anybody wants to do.
Like, the beatbox. There it is. Yep. Exactly.
Now
Yo,
my-
we got the big red. Yeah, we're gonna win.
Okay. Oh dear
All
God.
I got.
Welcome to the Red Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh says that if I
Okay.
don't bring the glasses next week, I don't get my ticket. So
Okay. Oh my God.
They're awesome. All right.
we'll work on a mic. We'll work on more volleyball talk. We know that
Okay.
there's a thriving fan base for volleyball. So
An hour and 43. John is
that is still about 45 minutes shorter than normal, John. I just want you to know.
You
Okay,
just
Greg.
keep going.
I know he can't
All right.
can't stop himself.
That'll do it for this episode of the 5 Heart Podcast. We're truly blessed to be joined by our founder and our fearless leader, Jon Johnston. So thank you, sir, for taking time out of your life, out of your brain capacity, for being here with us. For my co-host and friend, Minnie Hunt, for all of you beautiful people in the Chatterfields, I'm Greg Mehachko, and we remind you each and every week that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. John?
Go Big Red!
Minnie?
Go big.
Alice? Because it's the good night, everybody. Go Big Red, and we'll see you more later on Coronation on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thank you.